forgot to take the title card down.
Put our faces on the fucking screen.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And I knew I'd mess something up as soon as the stream started. But it's okay.
Yeah, was it just having our faces on the screen?
It was.
Well, that's fine.
Listen,
our faces were on the screen.
It was. Yeah, technically our faces were on the screen. Also,
Mhm.
I love that picture. My favorite picture we got at Scarefest.
It is a pretty good picture, yeah.
100%. I made it the background on Twitter. And I might do a couple other things with it. So I was like, "What the hell? We'll use this thumbnail. It's cool." It's
Hello, well. So that's
Jason.
my face is solidified in the chat now.
Yeah. Well, hey Rosalia, that's why I'm saying your name. What's up, Rosie?
Hello.
Jason is about to drive that machete through my neck, right there. Hard.
It sure does look like
hard
it. Yeah.
into the paint, right there. It's about to happen. Listen,
They're a group.
October
They're a
28th.
cool.
Huh?
I said they were just a cool group of guys I wanted to take pictures with.
They are. They were cool,
Yeah.
even though they wanted to kill us, but it's okay.
Thank
What's
you,
up,
honey.
Sierra? It is
I
a
only
good
look
day.
for your approval.
Listen, everybody, happy almost Halloween. It's gonna be. Listen, it's gonna be a cold one here in Kentucky because I was looking at the weather this morning. It's supposed to be like 25 on Halloween. The low is like 25, and the high is like 50
No
something.
way.
Like it's gonna be cold. Yeah,
No, it's not.
cold. So
Is it
it's
really?
time. It's happening. 100%. Look it up.
Ugh.
It's true. It's gonna be great. Trick or treating in the cold, man. Possibly
Hey, we ain't the
some
one
flakes
trick-or-treating.
flying.
We ain't the one
No, we're
trick or
not.
treating. That's no longer our thing.
No.
Which I
I'll
don't
be-
even think
I'll
that's
be-
really like. I don't even think that's the thing for like kids nowadays. If you think about it.
I don't know. I go back and forth. Like, I mean, you all know I'm a teacher. I've said that before. Like, I have kids that still go trick or treating though. But also, like, I think it. Here's the kicker. I think it depends on where you live because, like, when I was a kid, I grew up in Florida. When I was a kid, I remember like trick or treating hardcore. Like, it was like we would go. We lived in a sketch neighborhood, but we would go to someone else's neighborhood that we do, and we'd trick or treat there. And it was awesome. Like, I remember one year I went up as like a ghost pirate, which was dope. One of my favorite costumes ever. But I was in the pirate getup and stuff, and I'm walking around. You know, we're trick or treating, we're in house to whatever. And we got to this one. It was like on the corner of a curve, and we like. On the porch, there were like two banisters and a couple of chairs sitting behind it. And on the banisters, they had these huge, like it had to have been somebody on stilts or something like that. And they were sitting there, and it looked like a dummy. Like the thing is kind of propped up, you know, like a scarecrow would be or something like that. And I remember being like, there's no way that's an actual person. That's too big to be an actual person. There's no way. And it was somebody sitting on their porch in stilts looking like, you know, a scarecrow type thing. And as soon as we got up on the porch, they shot up and they were looking like down at us. It was like, holy shit, like it was scary. So that was cool. That's one of my favorite trick-or-treating memories. But that's to say, I think it's where you live. I think in super rural places, probably it doesn't happen very much. And I think in big cities, it probably doesn't happen very much. But like suburbia land, I think it probably happens quite a bit still. So I don't know. It's just, it's time now. Like it's not, and I know it's probably a safety thing, like because of the day and age we live in. But like, it's like you have like a 2-hour window that you can trick or treat, and that's it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm glad
honestly.
it wasn't like that when we were kids.
Well, I mean, back then, like we could literally stay up till like, well, honestly, like till like midnight if
Right.
we wanted to, and nobody would really bat an eye. But
Yeah.
nowadays, you can't really do that. Which
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's like, even back then, it was like still the same type of like security issues. But now it's just people are more strict on it. So
Yeah.
and people want to be assholes nowadays, with the whole razors and candies. They like literally when we were at Scarefest,
Yeah.
we had someone straight up say like, "Don't worry, I didn't put razors in the candy," as a joke.
Yeah. Somebody made that
But
joke.
I was just like, why
Yeah.
is that a joke? Like, why is that like,
Yeah.
why is that a common thing though?
Yeah.
So
Well, that still happened back in the 80s. I remember in Halloween 2, the kid shows up at the hospital and he's got the razor blade like sticking out of like the roof of his mouth.
oh yeah, that's true.
I couldn't.
Oof.
I couldn't think of it worse. No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
That'd be awful. But
I'm wondering why
it's,
people don't trick or treat much.
I know, right? Well, see, I want it to look like it looked during the tracking shot in Halloween 2018, where
Mm-hmm.
kids are setting off fireworks and everybody's running around and TPing houses. It like it's just this whole the whole neighborhood is decked out. I love it, but I mean,
I think
I
that's
know
like
that's just
during.
a movie. I think those days are gone.
I think that's only whenever the HOA is like in full effect. Like the homeowners association is like actually doing their job.
Yeah. Jamie Hart, what's up, Jamie? She said Scarefest was awesome. It was awesome. We didn't get to see you there. There were a few people that after the fact, like we looked for people, and we saw like what 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, we did.
And then like
It was nice. It was nice
I
to
don't
see
know.
you guys.
There were a lot though that were like, "Were you even there?" And I was like, "Yeah, we were there. We were there all day Saturday." So, to anybody we didn't get to see at Scarefest, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we missed you, but you know. Rosalia said we used to trick or treat till late. Yeah, man. Like I think
Yeah,
it's
we did.
changed in the last 10 or so years, 10, 15 years. I think it's really changed. It's so regulated. That's the thing, is it's extremely regulated at this point. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? It's all right. No biggie.
Not be assholes when trick or treating.
You're just gonna you're gonna enjoy it. You know, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I will say I have had a pretty good fall weekend. Well, okay. There's a story here. So last night, my wife and I, we carved pumpkins. Got the seeds. I made myself some. I don't know if you can even. I made myself some pumpkin seeds today, which I filmed it. I'm gonna make a reel out of it. My pumpkin seed recipe, just because I'm saying I think it's like the best. But
He thinks he has the best pumpkin
anyway,
seed recipe.
I do. Anyways, it's simple. But
I was wondering what you were smacking your lips on for a second.
Because I got my headphones in full blast. So guys, don't worry.
That's
I'm in the same situation as you.
As a weird horny friend in Halloween 2018 says, that's just a little piece of me for you.
There you go.
There you go. Anyways, so watched a couple of the movies we're going to talk about tonight on the stream. Last night while we were carving pumpkins, had some pumpkin beer. It was great. It was a really great time. Today, kind of a hazy, weird day. It was kind of like it sprinkled for a little while. Had a really nice morning. Super fall vibes, making the pumpkin seeds, all that stuff. There's a spot in our town where I like to walk my dog. It's out in a big open field with trees and woods and whatever, and cattle are out there frequently. There's a story here. This is what took up my entire afternoon. So, walking my dog, and there's a pond out there. Pond is filled with algae. I mean, it's great. The leaves and algae. I mean, it's cows, right? Like cows go lay in it and whatever. And I call for her. Her name's Molly. I called for her. I'm like, "Hey, Molly, come on!" Like, come on. And she ran up to me. I turned around and she was gone. And I was like, "Where the hell? Like, where did she go?" I turned around. My dog, who does not like water. Let me just throw that out there. First of all, she does not like to be wet. She doesn't like rain. She doesn't like the bath. She doesn't like being wet. She's a boxer. Swimming in the pond. Literally swimming in it. I was like, "What are you doing?" So she gets out. She's clomping through mud. I see that from the neck down, she's white. She's solid black. Solid black dog. And she's like white and green. She's got algae on her. Then she starts rolling in mud. I'm like, "Oh my God. What are you doing right now?" So get her home. I had to spray her with her harness and collar and everything on. Had to spray her in the hose outside, which she hated because it was cold. Then I finally get her inside. I corralled her into my shower, then gave her a whole bath. It was a lot. But all of that to say, I had a nice
I think
little
you're not
fall walk
supposed
with
to
her.
like let your dog swim in like still water, right?
Okay,
Isn't that the thing?
I didn't even think that was a consideration because she hates water.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turned around and she was in it, I was like, that's why I was so shocked, because I was like, "What the? You don't even like that. Like, why are you in that?" But she apparently had a great time. But she's clean now. She got a 20-minute bath, once outside and once inside. So
Well, that's good.
But that was it
I'm
was
glad she was able to endure herself.
it was
For for
it
the fall
was
season.
it was quite the afternoon. Let me just say that. Rosie said because the water was dirty, she liked it. Yeah, 100%. She was fishing. Yeah, she was. If there's any fish living in that thing, yikes!
Do not eat it.
Be looking like
That's what I
Chernobyl
mean.
fish. That's what's coming out of that thing.
Bro, you're saying that, but then yet your dog was in there. I hope you at least sprayed your dog with like some decent soap.
She's up there laying in my bed right now on my side. 100%.
Yep, guys. Brad's gonna wake up with a third eye if he's not careful.
Yeah, so my pumpkin seed recipe. Scoop them out. Do whatever. I took a couple of cookie sheets. Now, this is weird. Some people really get off all of the guts off the pumpkin. Me, personally, I leave some of them in. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Because it's really, like, I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a sweet and salty kind of thing. But once you salt them, those little gooey bits of pumpkin, it's so good after it's baked. I don't know what it is, but it really is.
The what?
But the little, like the pumpkin flesh, like the stringy part from on the inside, I leave some of it in, like mixed in with the seeds. And when it bakes, it's like a sweet and salty kind of thing going on. It's nice. I like it.
Man, you really are a Halloween guy.
I really am a Halloween guy.
Yeah.
100%.
I remember me and Sierra.
Do you see the wall behind me? Like, bro.
That's true. I remember me and Sierra were thinking about, like, I think last year we tried to get pumpkins. Funny if I'm wrong, correct me. We were carving pumpkins and we dumped all the seeds and stuff out on the guts and we were cleaning it off. And I guess it was my fault because it was at my apartment and I was using these trash bags, but apparently you're not supposed to use scented trash bags. So when Sierra was grabbing the stuff, she was like, "Honey, this stuff's like it has this smell. Is this scented?" I said, "Yeah." He said, we can't use these." I said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
She says, "They're scented." I said, "Oh, okay." I'm gathering that now.
Yeah.
So it was the thought that counts because I had like a whole Halloween thing too last year down for us too. We were gonna carve pumpkins, make pumpkin seeds, and
pumpkin
watch
feet?
movie.
You're gonna make pumpkin feet?
You misheard me because I actually said speed, so I was gonna make some pumpkin speed. Okay, so
speed.
That's some hardcore.
That's an entirely different thing. That you'll get rated for.
That's pumpkin spice.
That's a federal crime in 13 states.
Yeah, it is. So, thought you knew.
Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned the poster thing and like my background, or whatever. I have so many posters. I literally don't know what to do with it. Like, and it's funny because it's like my post. A lot of people when they collect, it's like.
In case you're wondering, guys, he's allotted the space that you see right now. Like
I am.
From
This is what
corner to corner. That's the amount of space he's allotted to have.
This is what I got from this wall right here, all the way around to the Halloween Kills poster that you see. And it's funny because I have 20 posters sitting over there, in frames, out of frames, rolled up, whatever, that I have nowhere to put. You know what I bought at Scarefest this last weekend? Posters.
More posters.
But I gotta say, guys. You'll see it in the vlog when it drops. The guy I bought these, it caught my eye because I walked by, and it was this. I don't have a picture of it ready, but like I said, you'll see it in the vlog. Saw this guy. I forget the gentleman's name. I gotta look it up. It's gonna bother me. But I walked by his booth, and I was like, "That is sick." It was a Jaws poster, but the word Jaws was written in like the blood in the water.
Oh yeah,
it was so dope looking. And I thought about it all day. Matt Casale. There's his booth that was at Scarefest. Matt Casale. I think that's how you say that. Different ones. He had an Exorcist one. He had a Halloween one. He had a Friday the 13th one, which is I also bought. He had a few different posters, and they were really, really cool. Like really, really neat animated posters. And I bought two of them. I bought one Jaws one, and I bought one Friday the 13th one. So, and once again, they're rolled
Which
up.
I'll be honest, those posters look
really cool. They really did. They look really cool.
Dope.
So shout out to that artist. I mean, if we can, we'll share his social media because for sure he's definitely a talented artist. I gotta say, there's something about block colors, like standard. How can I say this?
Yeah.
You know how Microsoft kind of went from like the very like detailed oriented like 4 colored blocks to like the standard 4 blocks.
Right.
Like it's
Yep.
like there's that part doing that is kind of lazy, but it's just the standard. Like I don't know, something about that type of like color scheme. It just seems really neat, and I think they did
Yeah.
that. I think they did it well with those with the Jaws poster. So shout out to you, man.
Well, his stuff was sweet. It was really cool. Jamie said that dude did
Agreed.
have some cool posters. I wish I would have
Yeah.
brought one. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so you saw
I'm
him,
glad
yeah.
I.
So
Yeah. Well, and the
if
other thing too is, as I was paying him, he was like, "Dude, do you want me to sign these?" I was like, "Yeah, sign them. Go for it." So he signed them in like neon marker. It's pretty cool. So I have them over here. I just haven't, like I said, I will probably put those up because they're dope. But I have posters. I have all of the Halloween posters, and I just don't have anywhere to put them.
really,
Yeah, I bought 3 posters last year at Scarefest, and they're still sitting in the tubes. Not
right
in
from
a, not
last
in a
year's
frame.
from last year's
From
Scarefest.
last year's Scarefest. Yep, they're
Yeah, that
they're
surprised
right
me.
over here, in a desk. Yeah, so that's okay.
None the
So,
slightest.
Tonight on the show, what we are doing is we are going to talk our top 10 Halloween essential watches. So these are essential films or TV shows or whatever, just not horror and beyond. This is not just horror. Obviously, there are going to be some horror picks in here. My list is about half and half. It's about half horror, half not. So this is anything that we feel like is an essential watch during the Halloween season. Things that you're just like, I have to see that for it to feel like, we're in spooky season time, and it's weird because, like, for me, it's always spooky season. You know what I mean? Like I like the Purely and Simply Evil playlist. It's funny because I've been sharing
I'm sure
that
he
since-
listens to it all year now.
I've been listening to it for probably about 5 months since I started making it. And it's got almost 5 hours of music on there. I mean, it's, it's pretty cool. Which, by the way, if you have not checked out, if you're a Spotify...
You live by the seed, you die by the seed, son.
As I choke on this pumpkin seed and drink my pumpkin beer. Anyways, now that I'm not dying, if you're a Spotify listener and you have not checked out our playlist called Purely and Simply Evil, the Spotify playlist, that is what we have called a musical celebration of the horror genre. It's got almost 5 hours of music that we have pulled from different horror films. And it's kind of like the ultimate Halloween playlist. So, like, if you're carving pumpkins, if you're driving to a haunted house, if you're at a Halloween party, whatever the case may be, I listen to it on my way to work every morning just because I like that. But you know what I mean? That and
Well, I
Green
mean, they
Day.
got some serious
That
bops
Green Day-
in your playlist. I'll be honest, you really do got some good songs
Yeah.
in that playlist for sure.
Yeah, that Green Day and the new Blink-182 CD or album that's what I listen to on the way to work. Like, not even kidding, 100%.
Have you ever gone to see Blink-182? You've gone to see Green Day
I
a couple of times.
have. I've seen Green Day twice. I'm gonna see them again next year because they're going on tour with the Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid. I did it. So that was a whole other thing. I did a reaction to y'all. I'm a Green Day fanatic. Like, I've said that before.
He will suck Joe Armstrong's
And-
dick if he wanted to.
No, I wouldn't do that, but I would give him a big hug. So they've got
see
a
the
new
brown
song
in your
out.
nose, dog.
They've got a new song out called "The American Dream Is Killing Me." They've got a new song coming out on Tuesday called "Look Ma No Brains," and they've got an album coming out in January called "Saviors," which is it's sick so far. Blink-182 just dropped a new album called "One More Time." It's amazing. I have seen Green Day twice. I've seen Blink once, but it was still Matt Skiba with Blink. It was not Tom DeLonge. So my cousin and I just got Blink tickets for next year because they're going to be at Rupp in Lexington, and it's going to be it's the original Blink trio. So I'm super stoked. So I'll be seeing Blink and Green Day next year.
I mean, you're about to have yourself like a
It's gonna be a
super
great
dope
time.
night over there.
Great time. Amazing. Yeah, Rosie, I'm telling you, The American Dream Is Killing Me is probably my favorite single they've released since 2009. 100%. It's great. And I know they're super political, so like it's not for everybody, but I like
They
it.
are.
I
I know a
wish,
lot of people that just they're just turned off by Green Day now because they got political. Which I
yeah,
will never
and
fault the band for going like political. I guess I mean,
there's there's
Spread your
two
message.
things
Spread
that
your message.
I
I
have
mean,
found.
you remember the because here, with all respect, because this when I think of Green Day, I think of the Simpsons movie.
Yeah,
You know that
I think a
whenever
lot
they
of
were
people
having a
do.
concert and they were like, "Let's take a minute to talk about the
Yeah.
environment,"
Well,
and
what's
the
funny
entire
is
town just like just judges them and stones them, throws beer bottles and everything,
well, it's
all while they're
hysterical because
performing in a acid lake.
yeah, Mo is like they're sitting there rocking or whatever, and Mo is like, "These guys are awesome," and then Billy's like, "Let's take a minute to talk to you about the environment," and he's like, "These guys suck." But yeah, what I've found, people who are not hardcore punk rock or hardcore Green Day fans, there's two things that I think people that make people turn their nose up at Green Day that don't like really deep dive into it. Number one, they think that they're stuck in that like emo middle school era, and if you really listen to it, they're really not. And B, they're super political, and I think that's part of what turns people off. I love that they're political. Like my political views, I have no doubt in my mind, are because I listened to Green Day at a young age. Now, I mean, I share them with my parents too. You know what I mean? Like it's not the only thing, but like 100% Green Day's music, like my political views, like my love for punk rock and like that whole like vibe and culture, like 100%. I guarantee you, like they are part of, they're part of my reason for that. But
I'm sure that's this. I'm sure you could say this. I'm sure a lot of people could say the same, honestly. So, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, all things considered, yeah, Green Day can be political, but they've earned the spot to have the spotlight on them for whatever they need because they've been here. They're just as old as Queen, if I'm not mistaken, right?
as Queen,
Yeah, right. What band am
no.
I thinking that's been around same about the same amount of time as Green Day?
Blink
Just to go to
182
show.
pretty much. Nirvana was a few years before them. When I think of like the punk rock grunge, like Mount Rushmore, it's probably
No,
Nirvana, Blink 182, Green Day, the Ramones.
I mean, like, how long has Green Day like been around? Because like I feel like they've been
Green
around
Day,
for like a long
I'm
time.
I'm gonna turn out to be a big nerd right here. Green Day was founded in 1987.
Okay, yeah, so in the 80s, the
Trey
80s.
Cool joined Green Day but they were nobody in the 80s though. They were not. They were just three kids that were from the East Bay in California at that point. They didn't make it until like the early 90s. Cuz that was when Doogie came out. That was when they started selling more records. They signed like it was like they didn't like catch on until then. Nirvana had the weird sweet spot between the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? Like it was that they kind of fused the 80s and the 90s together, and then Blink 182 and Green Day came on the scene and just like wrecked the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Jamie said no. Green Day came out in '94. Yeah, Queen, bro. Queen was like
I don't
the
know.
late '70s.
I heard something. I heard something along those lines. Like there was like an old band that was around the same time as yeah, Brad is a true fan.
I
But
really am.
I don't know. I must have heard something wrong. I'll take that L.
It's okay. It makes me, it really makes me wonder the fact that like Green Day and Blink are still so popular because like they just had that When We Were Young festival in Vegas that they co-headlined. And I look at so many of those bands like The Offspring, Good Charlotte, Pierce the Veil. Like these are all bands that were like really popular in the 2000s, but they've kind of like they're not really like in the spotlight anymore. You know what I mean? But then you've got Green Day and Blink who like Green Day just charted with a new song. And they've both got like fire new albums coming out. Like I don't know if any of them have like surpassed that like middle school era like Green Day and Blink have. You know what I mean?
The what?
Like I don't, you know what I'm talking about. Like everybody thinks of them as like they were the band everybody liked when they were in middle school or something like that.
Oh, like the whole
And
like it
it's
wasn't a
and like,
phase, mom.
but it's
It was the
really not
lifestyle
like
kind of thing.
they're all in their 50s now and they're kind of owning it. Like they're owning the fact that they're older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of trying to like stay in that same vibe. I don't know. There's just I love them, man. I love it. It's so good, man. Jamie Hart said, first time I heard Green Day, I knew they were going to be a long-lasting band. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. So, without further ado, we should probably get into this list, don't you think?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, Rosie, Foo Fighters. That's another one, man. Again, the Nirvana tie-in with Dave Grohl. I would love to see the Foo Fighters. They were at Louder Than Life when I went and saw Green Day the
I'd like
last
to
time
see
a
Dave
couple of
Grohl.
months ago, or well, last month. But they were a different day, and I couldn't make it down to go see them then. But Foo would
They're
be
talking
cool
about Louder
too.
Than Life.
Yeah.
Were they at Louder Than Life?
Yep,
No, they weren't.
they were.
Wow.
Foo headlined one night. Avenged Sevenfold headlined another night. Godsmack maybe headlined another night, and then Green Day was the finale.
Okay. Yeah,
That
that adds
was-
up.
That was the best concert experience I've ever been to.
It was something, I'm sure.
It was.
I wish I could have went, but it is what it is.
My wife was really uncomfortable because people were like moshing and crowd surfing, and she's very much like that's not her wheelhouse. But I love it. Listen.
Man,
might
look at the
be
dedication
crazy.
of Julia.
I might be crazy. I promise we're gonna get into the show in just a minute. I might be kind of nuts, but like when everybody's moshing and bumping into you and like, and of course it's not as crazy as like some metal bands. Like bro, there are some. I kid you not. There are some metal bands. Their mosh pits, like people should be catching assault charges for what
They're
they do. in
straight
those
like
mosh pits.
fights.
Like it's just straight like plowing down over top of people. This isn't like that. This is like a fun, everybody's jumping and dancing and crowd surfing and you're passing people and beers are flinging over the like I love that. I absolutely love it. Now, there are annoying people who take it too far too. And that's annoying. But like everybody's just there to have fun. Now, if it's a mosh pit where like people are literally straight up assaulting you, that's a little, I'm out. That's a little too much. But, you know. I don't know. It's cool. Love it.
Yeah, I wish I could have went with you guys, honestly. But, you know,
It's okay.
it's always next year.
They're touring next year, Miguel.
That's what I said.
We should
There's
go.
always next year.
Yeah. All right, let's do this thing. Top 10 Halloween essentials. Again, these are not just strictly horror. These are any Halloween watches that you find important to you to check out during the Halloween season. The things that kind of get you in the mood for spooky season.
Get your jack-o'-lantern giblets going.
Jack-o'-lantern giblets. I love it. Johnny Hideout UK, so glad you're back. What's up, Johnny? Nice to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
So, are you going? I assume we're going 10-1, right? Mine aren't like super categorized like that, but I did put them in an order.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you my bottom three if you want, like right now.
Yeah, give me your number 10. Let's do it. Give me your number 10. Let's roll.
Okay. I have to go with my boy Michael Keaton, and it's not Batman. It's Beetlejuice. I like Beetlejuice. It's definitely one of those movies where I feel like it's not necessarily scary. At least it never was for me, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that it is very much a Halloween movie, albeit not that scary. Traumatizing for kids, without a doubt, but not scary.
True.
So
I still don't think it's super scary though, even for a kid. Now, admittedly, it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I watched it. I was never a super big fan, but I don't know. I don't think it's super scary, you know.
no, it's not. But there's just some elements in the movie that just that can frighten a child. Like
If you're not really realizing that, then you're just
Right.
naive. But it's definitely one of those teenage Halloween essential movies out there. And to be honest, a lot of my list are very much like teenage Halloween essentials, just stuff that I enjoyed
Yeah.
watching whenever I was a teenager and Halloween season was coming up. But I mean, if you think about Beetlejuice, I mean, it does have a stacked cast too. I mean, you got Keaton, you got Winona, you have
Right.
Alec, you got and Catherine O'Hara, I think, from
It's got a
Schitt's
good
Creek,
cast.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so some solid characters in there, and the music is pretty good. The fucking like visual effects, the makeup, all fantastic, all eerie, ghouly, and just a whole bunch of fun time. And if I'm not mistaken, I think 2024 is supposed to be Beetlejuice 2 coming out
Yeah.
with Winona Ryder coming back,
Yeah. That's what Rosalia
and
had just said.
yeah, yeah. I hope it's good too. I mean, it's hard to catch the essence of Beetlejuice, all things considered, since it was like in 1988. So you do have like those like uh Evil Dead like makeup, like VFX and stuff like that, stop motion, Worm in the other dimension, like that stuff is pretty cool. And I hope that doesn't get CGI'd, to like fucking smithereens. That's all I'm asking. So I just don't want that much CGI. I still want the essence of like what Beetlejuice had in the 80s. So I don't know. I'm excited for it too. But yeah, if I had to check, like, if there was like one movie that just immediately came to my head and I thought of like Halloween, it's Beetlejuice. Did you lose me? You got a feeling I did get lost. No. I hope not.
Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Can
About
you
how
hear
much
me?
did you miss? Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, I am proposing. Okay, I'm gonna get out and I'll be right back. Okay, I will join back.
Hey. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay right now? Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Hey.
Hey,
Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest with you because I'm trying to figure this out like right now, which is why I looked
yeah.
confused. I missed when I say everything that you just said. I mean, I heard literally nothing that you just said for the last 2 minutes because it was like it was. I heard like there was nothing that you just said. So I apologize.
Well, Jamie and Rosalia says that they hear me, so I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I don't know, but you were gone. I don't know what. So if I looked weird, it was because I was like looking through all of my screens and trying to like redo my Wi-Fi because I don't know. That was odd. So Beetlejuice. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay.
other than having to like retrace all my steps, I mean, yeah, it's a good movie. Um, I also remembered. I think Rosalia just reminded me. Jenny Ortega uh is going to be Lydia's daughter, so it's going to be like the whole legacy
Yep.
thing coming into play too. So that's exciting. Uh, let me ask: Is I don't know if like Gina Davis and oh buddy, who played the husband? Are they coming back too? Like, how's that working? I don't know the whole cast and what's in stores for Beetlejuice 2. So if you guys know more about that, please let me know in
Mm.
the comments.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Jamie said my internet acted up. I don't. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It because now it's fine, and it was fine before. Like I had no issues. It was
Fuck
literally
you, Brad.
just when you were going on your Beetlejuice rant that I that I missed every single word you said. So sorry. I apologize. But yeah, Hope Part 2 is good. It is. They are coming out with a Part 2. So here's what I was going to say before all of that happened. I will
Mhm.
say Beetlejuice is a film that very much like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Um, it's it's a film that it's a film that stayed culturally relevant. And my wife just said my name in all caps.
Probably
Hi.
because you fucked up hard.
What did I?
She probably
What
saw
did?
you.
What did I? What did I do? Do I need to be concerned that you're about to come attack me? What happened? You're keeping me in limbo here, baby. What's going on?
LOL.
No, I think she saw how bad you were. Oh, Matthew Perry is
Matthew?
dead.
What?
Oh,
No way.
I need to confirm that.
are you serious? Wow,
How?
No, get out of here, fucking serious.
wow, 54 of what
Okay,
happened,
so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna share this screen.
bro? A parrot drowning, bro? Fucking how?
Drowning.
How the fuck? What?
She said, "I am
Well,
unwell."
I am unwell. I would be too.
Wow. Matthew Perry dead at 54 after apparent drowning? What? The actor who is best known for playing Chandler Bing on Friends was found dead at a Los Angeles home on Saturday, citing law enforcement sources. Law enforcement sources also confirmed Perry's death to the Los Angeles Times. Found in a jacuzzi at the home, and no drugs were found at the scene. A spokesperson told People that officers responded to a call at Perry's address regarding the death of a male in his 50s, but would not confirm the deceased's identity. No foul play involved. Said first responders were called to the residence for cardiac arrest, but like
Bullshit. That sounded like fucking foul play, my guy.
that is weird. Hasn't he had drug problems in the past, right?
I don't know. There's no drugs though.
Yeah, he was sober. I feel like my wife is a huge Friends fan. I feel like he had like cocaine problems or something at one point in the past.
I don't know, Julia. Can you confirm that?
Wow, that sucks. What a shame.
Yeah, damn.
Wow, what a shame, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, and it's a shame if he was sober and if he was doing pretty well, you know what I mean? Like that's a shame. Yeah, watch. Matthew Perry says he can't remember 3 years of filming Friends because of substance abuse. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that.
Wow. Wow. Julius said, yes, he was an addict, turned his Malibu mansion into a haven for addicts after he got sober. Man, that's a shame. Wow. A
Damn, that's
drowning, though? That seems like when you hear about a kid drowning, like it's terrible, but like it's almost
bro.
like
How do
okay,
you drown
could,
in a jacuzzi?
like you could say, okay, I don't know, maybe he fell asleep.
You would wake up,
I don't know. I don't know.
bro.
That's
If you were
odd.
drowning in a jacuzzi, you just stand up. That's what I don't get.
Well,
You
that's a
know?
shame. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, but yeah, that's really
Thanks
sad.
for letting us know, Jules. That's a shame. I'll have to look at that a little bit more later.
I thought I just
Um,
didn't wash the dishes, and you just wanted to blast them on the internet.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
when she said Brad in all caps, I was like, oh, it must be pretty bad. If she's interrupting a stream, it must be bad. I
Yeah.
must have really screwed up. No, but man, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. What was I gonna? I feel weird jumping back into like my number 10 is blood. Like I feel weird doing that now. Anyways, my number 10 on our list. Weird one that I never would have guessed I would be putting on my list is Hocus Pocus from 1993.
That's so
Now, here's the thing.
because that's like my number 3.
For me, that is on your list. So it's not just me. Okay.
No.
For me, I feel like there has to be like this list was a balance between between horror and between the movies that like I get childhood nostalgia from. You know what I mean? Because like when it comes to the Burr months, like the October, November, December months, like with Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, like that whole string of holidays, that's my holiday season. When everybody's like, it's the holiday season, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. For me, that's it. And like I don't know. For me, there's a childhood nostalgia thing there, and I think Hocus Pocus is one of the films that satisfies that. Like, it's fun. It's kind of outdated at this point. Part 2 was actually pretty good. If you watch Part 2, I'm gonna be real. It was actually pretty nice. I had never seen it until I married Julia. 100%. I had never seen it ever.
Well, that explains why it's like so high up on your, so like I guess low on your list. But I mean, if you did
Yeah,
you
I mean,
did you
it's
say
the
Hocus
first one on
Pocus
my
was
list,
like
yeah.
kind of scary?
It's not scary. It's a little bit. The themes are a
Don't
little
even
bit
say
mature.
spooky.
No, it's not spooky. It's not spooky or scary at all, to me at least. To a kid maybe, but I mean, like the
I
entire
love how like
movie
he assumes that Hocus Pocus would be
hinges on
scary
the
to a
fact.
kid, but heaven forbid Beetlejuice isn't fucking scary for kids.
Okay, to me,
God.
I never found it scary. I obviously, as an adult, don't find Hocus Pocus to be scary. But I mean, it's mature
You
in
just
that
got
like
case, man.
the entire movie hinges on the fact that the main character is a virgin, and like it's about witchcraft and the Salem witch trials, and it's like literally someone like they're hung at the beginning of the movie, like you see their dead bodies dangling, like it's got a little bit of maturity to it, I think. Like I think a younger kid could probably look at that and be like, oh, that's kind of freaky, like I don't like that. But it's a good like gateway. If you're trying to like get your kid into horror or something, or if you're trying to slowly introduce them, it can be a cool gateway. But it's fun.
It's a good.
It satisfies the
family
Halloween vibes.
movie.
It is. It satisfies the good family, fun Halloween vibe. I like it. So it's my number 10. Colton Candler, what's up, Colton? We saw him at Scarefest. He said, "Sup, dudes? Good seeing you guys last weekend. Next year we need to grab a drink, dude. I know. I wish we all would have gotten to hang out. I didn't realize the Wham meetup was on Friday. Thanks for the news, Mike and Jay. Appreciate it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, man, next year we'll hang out next year for sure, 100%. And we could only make it on Saturday, so
We are a one night kind of Scarefest.
One night
group, if
only.
I'm not gonna be honest. So
We're a
I mean, with
pumpkin-
all due
I'm not gonna
respect,
say
I like as much as I'd love being at Scarefest, I don't think I can handle a full weekend. Like Mike and Jay were telling me about like what they did like on Friday night, and knowing that they were still going on Saturday night, I was like,
yeah.
and you were older than us. And I cried going to Lexington at like 9 a.m. at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
By the end of it, Miguel was like, "Bro, I'm tired. I want to go home." Which we went and got dinner, and we didn't get our food until what 10:30. Like was when we finally sat down to eat dinner. Like it was late.
Bro, when I tell you that, all respect to the community, we wore like let's talk movies hoodies, and it was look cool, and we looked dope, and we looked like a unit. We were representing. Bro, the amount of people
wore
that
those
thought
hoodies.
that we were just a couple was hilarious.
Oh man, everybody's straight now. Let's don't care. People 100% thought that we were a gay couple.
People
all
straight
day.
up thought.
One.
I'm pretty sure when we went to like Nick and
100%.
Norman's, they probably thought we were like a couple. It got to the point where like one of the waitresses, which if you ever find this video, like I'm just saying, when you told us that we have such nice smiles, that straight up was like a thing that you would tell me, like if we were like some you tell like a couple. So like get out of here. I was cracking up though.
Well,
we walked out of the restaurant and we looked at each other and we were like, they think we're couples. So
Well, then the funniest thing about it was we're standing there talking to Mike and Jay. Right here walks Sean Clark. So Sean Clark comes over, says hello to everybody, and Sean looked at my hoodie and he was like, "What's LTM?" And Mike looks at him and Mike goes, What did you say? He was like, Mike goes, licking titty mamas or something like that. And I was
Licking
like,
titty mamas.
thanks, man. Appreciate that. You just said that my LTM hoodie was licking titty mamas to Sean Clark. Cool.
Hey, so
Sweet.
Sierra just got updated on
Hysterical.
Matthew Perry.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Sierra's sad now too.
Yeah, that really is a shame, man. That sucks. Anyways, what's your number 9? No,
Christ. It's
I'm kidding.
I don't know. I think here, how can I preface this? Because not a lot of my movies are like horror. They're just, they're kind of gothic, I guess. They're like eerie, if that makes sense. So
Right.
with
Yeah,
my
that's
number
fine.
9, it's Sleepy Hollow. Because I mean it's not really a scary
Good
movie.
choice.
Plus, it has the Halloween, prince, of our generation, Johnny Depp, in the movie, like young Johnny Depp. So like if you're like a, if you're like a 15-year-old girl, you're just discovering stuff, and you see young Johnny Depp, yeah, like that stole a lot of hearts. So
Yeah.
you got good old young Johnny Depp acting as his forgot how did he act? I don't know. This Johnny Depp, this one in Sleepy Hollow, he was a doctor, right? He was a doctor or like a investigator and
Something like that, yeah.
something of that nature. But he hated the sight of blood.
Right.
So and he hated germs and all that stuff. And it was really interesting to see him interact with like
He was like a germaphobe, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was very much a germaphobe. That was the word I was thinking of. And just seeing how he interacted the entirety of the movie, the whole atmosphere was dark and dreary. The Headless Horseman was probably my favorite iteration, favorite version of the
That's what
Headless
Rosie
Horseman.
just brought up.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. You never saw his face. He hardly ever talked. You never got your Foo Fighters accent, but you you just tell with the way his demeanor was and how he acted, from the present Headless Horseman to the most recent one. He really stole the show. The second Christopher Walken's like face probably got like at least 5 minutes of screen time. And that's very rare of you to see of like a top A-list actor at the time, like to only get like 5 minutes worth of screen time, if that makes sense. So, I mean, kudos to Mr. Walken for being able to just steal the show with how much little time he's gotten. So
You know what I love about what you just did? Is you even
What?
nailed the head tilt. You were like, Foo Fighters. Like he kind of does the weird like he does the head tilt thing, you know what I mean? Foo
Well, you
Fighters.
remember
we were talking about
you
we
remember
were talking
the-
about bands earlier. Green Day.
yeah.
Foo Fighters.
Well,
Blink
you
182.
remember? I don't think you ever saw that. Did you see the interview of Dave Grohl when he was talking about like when Christopher Walken was introducing them for SNL or something? It was
No,
something.
I haven't seen that.
No, it's so funny because he like Dave Grohl.
I
gets up,
bet that's
he's like,
hysterical.
he said, and Christopher Walken said, he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters." It's like you emphasize the fighters and not the food. It's like you enunciate the second vowel
Foo
on
Fighters.
everything. Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
Dude, you
but
know one of my favorite roles of Christopher Walken, any Christopher Walken film, one of my absolute favorite roles is the pest guy in Mouse Hunt. If you've never seen Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane and God, I forgot the other guy's name. Oh my God, Chris, it's hysterical. These two, have you ever seen Mouse Hunt, Miguel?
no,
Oh, you would think it's hysterical. These two brothers. Nathan Lane is one of them, and I forget the other guy's name. He's funny too, but their dad leaves them. Their dad dies and leaves them this mansion that is a piece of garbage, but it's some rare architectural like majesty that, you know what I mean, that's worth like millions and millions of dollars. But there's a mouse, and it's called Mouse Hunt because they're trying to catch the mouse, and that's literally the plot of the movie, is they're trying to catch a mouse, and it's hysterical. Like, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But they call in a pest guy, and it's Christopher Walken, and he's so over the top. He's got like technology and whatever, and he's crawling around on the
With
ground
Nathan
with
Lane?
these like big.
You mean
Yeah.
Mario?
No, I'm talking about Mouse Hunt.
Oh, okay.
It's called Mouse Hunt. No, but he's crawling around on the ground and he's got these like binocular things and he sees a mouse turd on the ground and Christopher Walken's like, he's got his little tweezer things and he's like spinach and something whatever. And he just takes it on the pictures. He takes it on the tweezer and he's like and then he keeps like going on with what he's doing.
Disgusting.
It's so fun. It's nasty.
That
It's
is
so
disgusting.
funny. It's such a funny movie. They end up buying a cat that's like evil. It's in like this like metal like wooden box with like metal grates around it and hinges.
It's like Tom and
And it's
Jerry
called
kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like a psycho cat, and they call it Catzilla, trying to kill the mouse. It's hysterical. We need to do a watch along of Mouse Hunt because
Yeah, I'd be willing to watch it.
absolutely hysterical. I love it. Such a good one. My number 9. People might call this a little bit of a cop out, but it's a series that my wife and I watch in those Burr months, the October, November, December era. We usually watch. We watch all of the Harry Potter films then. So my number 9 is the first Harry Potter film, and that's because I think it kind of hits all the boxes. It's got the Christmas thing, but it's got Halloween too. It feels like that. Oh boy, it feels like that fall turning into winter, like atmosphere. It's just I don't know. There's something about it that it's the magic. It's the witchcraft and all that stuff. Like it feels very fall to me. So my number 9 is Harry Potter. Again,
I
it may
find
seem
Harry
like a
Potter
cop-out,
like
but-
a November kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's more like a Thanksgiving.
Me
kind of
too,
like
mostly.
series.
But we kind of start watching it about now, which let's be real,
Yeah.
it's about November.
Oh, dude! Which,
We
by
have,
the
like, 4
way,
days
I
left.
totally forgot to mention this. So, with my number 9, like with Sleepy Hollow, I went to the horse track today, in Kingland because it's fall
Mhm.
meet and it's the last day, so I just figured why not? I'm gonna go celebrate with my buddy
Yeah.
Chris. And I for some like in between the races, they would have a headless horseman just run down the track. Run
Really,
back and
that's pretty
forth.
cool.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was a black,
Wow.
like black stallion and full on get up, regalia, and all that other stuff. And it was pretty cool. Like I gotta admit, it was really
That's
neat.
pretty cool.
So yeah, I mean, kudos to Kingland for thinking of that. I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I dig that.
You know.
Lit.
So you're
What
number
is your
9.
number
So-
8?
okay, number 8. What was my
Yeah,
number
we're on
8?
number 8.
Well, I have to, jump a couple more years with Johnny Depp and go back to our high school days, buddy, and watch Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
The
Yes.
Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Fleet Street.
Yeah.
When I tell you that when you have literally Johnny Depp and who else? Fuck, I just forgot her name. Holy shit. Helena?
Bonham,
yes. Yeah, Helena
Bonham
Bonham.
Carter, yeah.
Yeah, when you have those two together, I swear to God, it's a pretty hilarious duo.
It's a good one.
So, in
Do you
case
know
you
who's
guys
playing
don't know,
Sweeney Todd?
do what?
Sorry. Do you know who's playing Sweeney Todd on Broadway right now?
Who
You will never guess.
is it?
You'll
Is it
never
an
guess.
actor? Is it like an actual like movie actor?
No.
Who?
My wife is really, as a theater person, my wife is really annoyed. Josh
not Matthew
freaking
Perry.
Groban. Bro, too soon.
I know.
Bro just straight up.
So Josh Groban,
That was cold. Yeah, Josh Groban is straight up playing him right now,
really?
which is
I need to look up what he
such a
looks like.
weird choice. Like,
I don't know. Johnny Depp is what? He's like an alto, isn't he?
I
And
don't
Josh
know. but
Groban is
Josh
like a
Groban-
baritone, right?
Josh Groban claims to be an opera singer, and he's really not. Sorry, but he's not.
Julia,
Like,
I need your input on that.
he's not.
Let me see. Oh well,
That's interesting because he doesn't. There's not really. I'm looking at it right now.
What do you
Um,
mean, Rosie? Not what again?
the Negan bat. I'm guessing. It looks pretty cool. Josh Groban as Sweeney Todd looks all right. Now, if I were to say that if
Mm.
now I'd have to listen to how he sings, but I would say that it's probably not bad.
It's
Like, I don't know.
it's actually not. Oh yeah, yeah. She said Negan. Nobody
Yes.
wants to relive that moment. Bro,
No,
did
not at
you
all.
see that episode? That episode, The Day Will Come When You Won't Be. That was 7 years old, like last week.
Was it?
Does that feel like? Does it feel like 7 years ago that you and I
Feel like
sat
longer.
in the music building at EKU, like
Feel longer.
hunkered down with our phones for like this? I mean that doesn't feel like that long ago. It's weird, man.
Yeah,
That
that's been a
episode,
while
man.
then, I
That
guess.
is
But yeah, guys,
that
in case you
episode
guys
is
don't
rough.
know, in case you didn't know what Sweeney Todd's about, it's just about this barber who's just trying to get revenge from the
The
governor,
demon barber of
um,
Fleet Street.
and all while
The
also
governor.
helping one, all while helping one of his acquaintances kill multiple people while she makes meat pies and Beale Street. But they all have
Okay,
great
but
music. They all can sing pretty well.
you're leaving out the most important thing about the meat pies, though.
It's made out of the people that he killed.
yeah, yeah,
There you go.
100%.
And so yeah, so that's the generic plot of the movie. But they got some great music. I mean, this Sweeney Todd. I mean, I'm sure people hate, live action musicals. I'm pretty sure if you're really into musicals like that, I'm sure some of you don't like the movie. But from what I've experienced, what I've heard, Johnny Depp did a pretty phenomenal job. So, and
He did.
again, it's
I
dark,
thought it was a good
dreary,
adaptation.
yeah, and the music was pretty well written. So it's a pretty good movie to watch during the Halloween season.
Yeah.
It's just one of those eerie movies that you just why not watch it?
Yeah.
Bloody as fuck too. I got to be honest.
It really
Bloody
kind of
as hell.
is, yeah. I remember not the first time I saw that, I was like, they're not. It's a musical. They're not going to go that hard. And then the first time he slits someone's throat and it like spurts all over, I was like,
Bro, yeah.
oh, it's like, all right, we're gonna go there.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. So my number 8, speaking of dark and dreary, is going to take us to the black and white 1960 classic from Alfred Hitchcock, possibly the defining film that made the horror genre what it is today. I have got to go for my number 8 with Psycho. And I've yet to watch Psycho this year. Boo! What do you mean, boo?
They haven't been able to watch Psycho yet. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it this year yet. Here I thought you meant Boo to Psycho. I was like, bro, Psycho is like the godfather of these horror movies. Like, what are you talking about? Psycho is a movie. It took me a while. The first time I ever watched it, I thought that absolutely sucked. But again, the more that I became like a cinema person and I could appreciate like a slow burn and what Alfred Hitchcock was trying to do. Now, I gotta say, you gotta be willing to sit and take it. Like, you've got to be willing to sit through a slow burn if you're gonna watch Psycho, because it is a long haul. There is a lot going on. There's a lot to unpack. But my wife and I were talking about Psycho because it's one of her two favorite horror movies. Well, her three now favorite horror movies of all time are Psycho, The Shining, and Halloween 2018. And we were talking about it one day, and she was like, "Do you realize how ahead of its time Psycho was?" And I said, like, in what way do you mean? Because when I think of Psycho, I think, okay, it's Alfred Hitchcock. He's the godfather of horror. It's kind of like like when you think about like all of the real classic, not classic Universal Monsters classic, but I mean like classic true like horror films, you think of like Rear Window, you think of Psycho, you think of The Birds, all of the Hitchcock stuff, the Hitchcockian stuff. And the thing that I never realized about Psycho, and I never thought about it this way. Maybe it was because she's a woman and she kind of gave me, like, she thought about it from that perspective. do you realize how ahead of its time Psycho is in terms of like he cross dresses as his mother, and it's like he's got a split personality, and he wears women's clothes. Like he only kills as his mom, and like this idea of even at the beginning of the film when it shows Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, um, God, what's her name? Janet Leigh. When it shows Janet Leigh like in her bra, like that was for 1960. That was kind of ahead of its time, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
And it, like, again, that the moment that he runs out at the end and you realize that Norman is taking on the persona of his dead mother, like, that's kind of like, wow, like, it's a lot, you know what I mean? And I never thought about it that way. But when you do it, like it almost gives you more of an appreciation for the movie and for what Alfred Hitchcock was doing. Because, like, yes, it's a slow burn. Yes, it's long and drawn out, and it takes I mean, it's a long movie. It really is. But the more I watch it, the more I gain an appreciation for it, and it does have that kind of dark. It's it's in black and white. It's got the house. It's kind of creepy and eerie and atmospheric. It's got the Halloween feel to it. So Psycho has definitely earned a spot on my list. Rosalia said the part where they discuss Norman towards the end runs too long, but other than that, it's superb. Yeah, there are a few moments that honestly I feel like they could have cut a little bit. The end was kind of a lot, I will say. Why did my light just turn off? What the heck?
You ready for this? I've never seen Psycho.
Really?
No, I've never.
Well, we're gonna have to get to that on Purely and Unbelievable then.
Well, I said, yeah, that's definitely gonna be
good.
that's definitely gonna be a commentary one for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's just it is long, which I think The Shining is long too. I don't know. I'm not a super. I appreciate The Shining, but I'm not quite as much of a fan of The Shining as most other horror fans are. I mean, most other horror fans look at The Shining like it is this like god tier flick, and like I said, I have an appreciation for it. I like it. It's a good movie, but there are parts of The Shining where I'm sitting there like, please do something, please. Go make something happen. Like, it's just so drawn out. I don't know. Again, I have an appreciation for it, but I'm not as wild about The Shining as some other people are. So,
well, I mean, again, it's one of those taste things, and I think The Shining is one of those movies where it's also one of those movies where Jack Nicholson kind of like had his time to shine too. Like, he definitely that was one of those movies that really solidified him too. But I think whenever I think
and his performance is great.
Nicholson, yeah,
right,
yeah, for
his
sure.
performance is really, really good.
Have you seen the behind the scenes video? No, I was gonna tell you this. So at Scarefest when we went to Nick Norman's, we saw that giant like poster of like everyone from The Walking Dead, and they like recreated that picture from The Shining. You were like, bro, how did they get everybody in at the same time? And I was like, Brad, look again, it's Photoshop. They said, yeah, you even got Norman to like do the whole like Jack Nicholson thing, and I was like, bro, that is straight Photoshop. And you can tell because it has like season 7 Rick and like season 2 Carol. Lori, yeah.
Yeah, they're all like different. They all look different. Yeah, that's pretty. I didn't realize that at first, but
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, Rosie said it was supposed to make you feel the isolation. You feel it because I don't know. It's good. Have you seen the behind the scenes video though of him getting ready for the axe scene, like the red rum scene at the end or the Here's Johnny scene? That's so cool, man. Like they're getting the shot really ready neat. And whatever, and they're on their radios and stuff, and he's got the axe and he's jumping up and down and whatever, and he's like like, and he's like hyping himself up and making himself get out of breath and whatever, and like, and as soon as they call action, he just like he stops and he gets into character, and then that's when he walks over to the door and he's like, and it's really cool, but it's a great scene. You're number 7.
Oh yeah. Number 7 is.
He said, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, no. It's Ghostbusters.
Hold on. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
Yeah,
That's a
and
really good
not
pick.
the
I like that
not
pick.
the newly released stuff, but yeah, the traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the crazy conspiracy, Dan Aykroyd, the legend Bill Murray, and my 80s wifey Sigourney Weaver, just killing
Yeah.
it in the movie. So I gotta say Ghostbusters is on my list. One of those movies where it's definitely like, during Halloween, it's just one of those movies it's going to be on AMC. It's going to be on, like, on the cable, like almost every other day. It's going to be on there, and the CGI again, fantastic. The ghost are stuff that is always solidified in people's memories. Every line that you can think of, from
Slimer, man.
Slimers, yeah, everything about that movie, love it. And I gotta say, I think the first one is probably the one I watched the most of out of the second one. But yeah, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, all them, they definitely made me hype for Halloween season when time comes. So,
Did you think Sigourney Weaver was kind of good looking back in the day?
bro, she is now still. What the fuck you mean? She was hot in
Yeah, she
Avatar.
look he is.
Yeah,
Sigourney
I was all
Weaver.
about that.
Like, I don't know. I just looked her up.
Bro,
Like in
I'm over here talking
Alien,
about a
like
movie,
Ellen
and
Ripley and
she
stuff like
gets
that.
out
Like,
the Sigourney Weaver.
huh?
What movie am I thinking of? I think it's let me think. There's one movie in particular where like I just like fell in love. Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest was pretty fun. And Sigourney in that one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Am I losing you again?
Ooh, Jamie sent her entire list. Oh, are you?
Oh, it looked like you were spacing
Am I
out for a
back?
second.
Am I okay?
No, you're good.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm good. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I apologize for my weird Wi-Fi issues. I don't know what's going on. Jamie sent the big one. She sent her entire list. She said number 10, The Evil Dead, great choice. 9, Sleepy Hollow. 8, The Witch. 7, House of a Thousand Corpses. 6, Halloween 3. 5, The Amityville Horror 2, The Possession. 4, House of Wax. That's a good one. 3, Donnie Darko, Ginger Snaps, and Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat did
Nice.
not make my list. I'm gonna be honest. It didn't.
It did, really?
I think I've only ever seen that one time. I would need to give that a rewatch. Hardcore. There's a few on your list, Jamie, that I think I would need to give a rewatch. House of Wax needs a rewatch. Evil Dead needs a rewatch. House of a Thousand Corpses needs a rewatch. I was never a super big House of a Thousand Corpses fan though.
Bro, I think I saw a clip of House of a Thousand Corpses.
And again, that's not because I'm a Rob Zombie hater. I'm not. Like, I'm just saying. It's not. His style is not always my favorite. That does not mean that he is bad at what he does. Dog is good at what he does. But he is so hardcore sometimes. You know?
Yeah, I have not seen
What year did
House of
that
a
come
Thousand
out?
Corpses.
What 2000? So that came out in 2003. Okay. Once again,
Nah, yeah, that's just not my thing. Bro, I put
yeah,
House of
I would
Corpses
have
and
to
my safe
rewatch it.
search went
But,
on. Bro, that's how you know.
yeah, that's how you know it's a Rob Zombie movie right there.
Yeah. Dude, Chris Hardwick is in there. I didn't know that.
Yep, Chris Hardwick is in it.
Damn.
Sid Haig is in it, and of course, it wouldn't be a Rob Zombie movie if Sherry Moon Zombie wasn't in the movie either.
Yeah. Yeah.
My number 7 may be surprising that this is this low on the list, but there's some other ones that I put over top of it just because I know these are listed, but it's not super like it's not. I'm not super paying attention to the numbers. Halloween 2, 1981 is number 7 on my list because it
That's
feels
the first
like
time I heard
again,
like a Halloween movie be that high or low, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I love Halloween 2. I do. It's in my top 5 of the entire franchise, and it's got it. I will say I think Halloween 2 has more of a Halloween feel than Halloween 1. And it's because of like I think it mostly takes place at night, and I think there's like you get more trick-or-treating, you get more people dressed up and out and about, you get more of a sense of like what's going on in the town, whereas like the original Halloween it's pretty limited to like the street, the high school, the place where the store where Michael broke in and stole, some rope, some Halloween masks, and a couple of knives. Like that's pretty much. I mean, it's limited to those spots. Whereas Halloween 2, I think you get more of a glimpse at the town. I don't know. There's just something like you get the Halloween decorations in the hospital. Like it just, I don't know. There's something that feels a little bit more spooky season about the 1981 sequel than the original. I don't know. But Halloween
It's
2
the
is my
palm
number
trees,
7.
man. Just fucking say it.
I know.
It's
We
the
were
reason
sitting
why
there
you didn't say Halloween.
We were talking about that last night when we were sitting there carving pumpkins and watching it. Julia was like, "I'm gonna be real." She said, "This does not look like it's Halloween." But I think you get caught up in the story and you get caught up in the mindset of like, okay, it's definitely Halloween. That it's like you almost don't pay it unless you're specifically looking for it. You don't really even notice it. It's weird. It is strange though that it's like the trees are full and green, but there's a bunch of fake leaves all over the ground. Like when you think about it, it's like it's kind of dumb when you
Yeah.
really like if you put too much thought into it. But you know, um, yeah, Jamie said Halloween 2 definitely has that scary season feel in space. And it's like it's in moments, right? It's like certain moments in the hospital where there's decorations and you see Michael walk by. It's the Ben Tramer scene before he's blown to all hell, like people seeing
Still
people
makes me
trick or
laugh.
treat and like the decorations on the houses,
I know I shouldn't make fun of a
that
high
was
school boy
still
just blowing up, but still.
I'm telling you, I wish I had your reaction when we were recording that commentary.
I thought you do.
Really do.
I thought you had my
Because
audio
No,
recording.
I don't. We weren't taking. That was back in our audio days. Well, I do. I have your audio, but I wish I would have had a camera on your face during
Oh,
that
yeah.
moment because you were like, you looked like Ghostface in that moment. Like what?
Yeah. Which, by the way, guys,
And I
I'm
love-
sorry to tell you this, but Scream, I doubt is on any of our list.
No, Scream's not on my list.
Yeah.
No.
But
Scream
yeah,
is
hate to say it,
Scream is
guys.
kind of in the Scream is kind of in the Shining camp for me. Like I like it.
Yeah.
I have an appreciation for it.
But I will
it's
say this though.
Not one of my favorites.
I will say this though. I kind of lied because are we doing our number 6? This is our number 6, right?
Yeah, number 6 next.
Okay, number 6.
Watch it be Scream. It's Scream. It's Scream.
No. Scary movie. Scary movie franchise.
What's
So, you want to talk about what? Yeah, nothing. Just chilling.
What's up?
Bro, when I tell you the scary movie franchise holds such a close has a close place in my heart because this franchise helped me get over my fear of movies, of horror movies. When you can make fun of what these horror movies are, then I can enjoy it. And Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 4. I kind of stopped watching after 5. But yeah, from 1 to 4, those are my favorite spoof movies. They are hilarious. Ghostface has such a great personality. He is hilarious in the movie. The cold open in the beginning, yeah, like it is hilarious. And
if I had to guess, I'd say if I had to rank it, I would say like Scary Movie 4 and like bottom, and then Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 3, and then Scary Movie 2
Mm.
are my rankings for my favorite out of that 4. Yeah. So
See,
Scary Movie 2 is just hilarious.
I would have to go back and rewatch them all to even remember them all. They kind of run together, you
Bro,
know.
there is a scene that had like you remember the Jada Pinkett Smith kill in the movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like I remember that
Yep.
one. But there was a scene, there was a spoof in that scene in Scary Movie 1 where it had Regina Hall. She was playing Jada Pinkett Smith's character, but she was being annoying as hell. She was being loud in the movies. People were being pissed off, and you had Ghostface just like right next to her. She was like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes!" and just stabs her and does the whole
Yeah. Yeah.
scene. But what made it funny was everyone was cheering Ghostface and then took part. So they all started throwing stuff at her, and then she
Yeah.
like died
Yeah.
in the middle of the screen, like the whole thing like falling on the stage. But instead of everyone like being scared, they all just started like clapping, like fucking finally. They started watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Jamie, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know where that comment was going because she said Scream is a Christmas season movie for me, and I was like, what? And then she said it came out during the Christmas season, so I just associated with that. I get that. I understand that. But at first I was like, what? But that's cool. I like that. My number 7. This is the Godfather, another Godfather film, but this is not the Godfather of slashers. This is the Godfather of zombie films. My number 7 is George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead from 1968, which we just did a watch along for, like at the end of September, right before Oktoberfest started, which means Purely and Simply Evil episode to come on Night of the Living Dead.
yeah,
It's coming.
we finally doing zombies.
We also desperately need to do New Nightmare hardcore. We need to
Do what?
New Nightmare. We never did the Purely and Simply Evil on New Nightmare, so we need to do that hardcore.
We'll get
now
back
that
on
Dylan's
that.
New Nightmare is out. By the way, Dylan's New Nightmare was sick. 100%.
Was it?
It was great. Yeah, it was, dude.
Yeah, I've been meaning to catch it.
Dave as Freddy is like, it hits.
Really?
And I'll tell you, Never Hike Alone, dude. Never Hike Alone 2. I assumed, I was thinking about this the other night because I was watching Never Hike Alone again, and I watched the sequel and whatever. And I'll do a review on that real soon. But I was thinking, when I assume we're gonna hit the Friday the 13th films sometime this year. I think of those as like a springtime, summertime movie, just because it's a summer camp, it's hot out, you know.
Yeah.
But when we do the Friday the 13th franchise, we are 100% considering Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow, and Never Hike Alone 2 to be canon. They're that
like
good.
we're thinking that.
Like when we do it, like we will include them in the films. That's how good they
Okay.
are.
Okay.
100%. Like, it's so good. So good. And the thing is, like, Friday the 13th has such a weird canon, like, timeline anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And they found a way to make it work. Like, to fit it into the already complicated. And not even did they find a way to fit it in. It almost makes it all make more sense. Like, it's great. It's really, really remarkable what they were able to do with Never Hike Alone.
No. So those are the short films I really need to catch on just to say that I've been able to watch it. But I think I'm not gonna watch Never Hike in the Snow, or those two because Friday the 13th isn't necessarily a movie that it's not a franchise that I haven't really tapped into yet. But
Yeah.
New Nightmare I definitely will have to check out. So
Yeah. So, but yeah, Night of the Living Dead, man. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Yeah, it's great. It satisfies the kind of gothic black and white Halloween vibe. You know, it's definitely got the vibe. I love how claustrophobic and how, that film is a slow burn too. But I think it's almost got like a it's got like a mind games thing going on, because you also, the thing that I think is so creative about Night of the Living Dead is with Dawn of the Dead, you feel the chaos. You see at the beginning of the film the rescue stations and people answering phones, and the cop is like, "We got to get out of here. Like this is not like this is all going to be gone soon." Like we like you feel the chaos. In Night of the Living Dead, what's so creative about it is it traps you inside of this house, so you feel isolated. You feel like you're not getting all the information, and the only new pieces of news you get are when you get the actual like newscast on the TV, and when you get that through the characters. But other than that, you don't see what's happening outside really. I mean, you do see the people in droves like going and killing zombies out in fields and stuff, but like it's I love how claustrophobic that movie feels. And the fact that it takes place kind of out in the country, they're in this farmhouse, they're at the graveyard, like they're running out in fields. Like, I don't know, there's something about it that's just a really, really cool vibe. And it's kind of like a Halloween in the sense that it was a low budget thing the only reason that it was filmed out there in the country was probably because they didn't have the budget to film anywhere else. And that probably became its saving grace because it worked being kind of isolated and out, on its own. So that's my number 6. I love that film.
No, definitely good choice. Good choice.
Hmm.
Well, looky here. Is it number 6? No, it's not. 5. 5, right?
Yeah, now we're on number 5.
Okay.
Halfway down.
Halfway down. So for my number 5, I'm going to have to go with a certain somebody that we were able to get a glimpse of last Saturday, and that is 1996 From Dusk Till Dawn. Yes, with
Nice.
Tom Savini in that movie, but directed by Roger Rodriguez. In case you didn't know, he was the one who directed Spy Kids, El Mariachi, Sin City, and one of my favorite bullshit movies, Machete.
I find it hysterical that the same guy that did Spy Kids did all of that other stuff too.
Yeah,
I think that's absolutely hysterical to me.
Right? Troublemaker Studios, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's New Dimension.
So weird.
Yeah, but so fucking good of a movie. Screenplay was actually written by Quentin Tarantino, and he's also in the movie too. But yeah, I just came upon this movie fairly recently, within the last couple of years. But I ended up loving this movie more than I thought I would, because same kind of principle if you think about it as Night of the Living Dead. They find themselves in a bar, and the bar just happens to be clusterfucked with demonic vampires, so they have to like save themselves. So yes,
Latino.
yes, it is very much a Latino head run, even though George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino's in it. But yeah, like you have Tom Savini, you have I don't even think who else. Tom Savini, you have Danny Trejo, Salma Hayek, which that was Salma Hayek's like movie there where I was just like,
yeah,
I'm a Salma Hayek fan. So yeah, Jesse Garcia's Tom Savini. I gotta say, you guys, Brad mentioned it to me because I didn't really knew who Tom Savini was. I know, get mad at me, but I knew him primarily from Dusk Till Dawn. Like whenever he was,
know him as an actor, and less
as an actor, Sex Machine. That's the name that he was going by. And when I mean that man was kicking ass in that movie, he was kicking ass and taking names. Like he was really knocking vampires out for nothing in that movie. But I mean, when you talk about like a tough time during that movie, like everybody was getting got right there. Like there was no survivors coming out of that movie. Of course, you can't really kill George Clooney off, so obviously he's the one that survives. But yeah, such a great movie. And if you think about it, some of the people that were in the movie, like they stuck around with Quentin Tarantino, like Harvey Keitel, I think he played Jacob Fuller, the father. He stuck around. He played as the wolf in Pulp Fiction, which if you guys don't know, that's Quentin Tarantino's like a culmination film, I suppose. But yeah, like From Dusk
Dusk Till Dawn is definitely one of those movies I enjoyed very much. It's fast paced when it starts. It gets really bloody. Quentin Tarantino can act too as well, if that makes sense. Like he can
He
act pretty
can.
well.
Yep.
Yeah. And when he was acting as like a deranged pedo, I guess if that makes sense. Like the guy has some pedo feelings in that movie. But he played that role pretty well. And I got to say that the special effects in there too. I don't know. Did Tom Savini take part in the special effects for this movie? Because I mean, when the vampires are in there,
Possibly.
there's some
Possibly.
pretty cool special effects in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. And I think Danny Trejo is in this movie like fairly young. Like this man was like, he was probably like a couple years outside of the cartel. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that right now. So that's how young this movie. That's how old this movie is. So, and that's how young Danny Trejo was in that movie. So, but other than that, this movie's pretty
Was Danny
phenomenal. I didn't.
Trejo in the cartel?
He was a gang member. He was a gangbanger,
Oh, I didn't know that.
bro.
Yikes.
Rosalia, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he was. Yes, I'm pretty
I
sure he
didn't know
was
that.
a gang member. Yeah,
Wow.
he was in jail and all that stuff.
Oh,
So, yeah. So
now he's not now.
now he's a very gentle, kind-hearted, man. So
I'm gonna be real. I can't see him in anything now without without seeing Tyler Mane bash him into everything in that room and him just sitting there taking it and crying, going, "I was good to you, Mikey," and then him just like slamming his face into something. I'm like, man, they did him dirty. Rob Zombie did him dirty in that movie, 100%. He really did it. And to make it worse, he puts him in the water and drowns him. Or no, then he throws the TV on top of him. See, it gets worse and worse and worse, bro. He could have
yeah.
just killed him
Okay.
quick and simple.
Here,
All them other people.
I'll correct myself in honor of Danny. He had affiliation with the Mexican Mafia. However, he never joined the gang. He grew up with the guys who were members of the Mexican Mafia, and he said that his uncle Gilbert was what kept him away from the gang. So definitely wasn't affiliate with gangs. Like he's been around, but he was never in it. So
Rosa
you
said
met
she
him.
met him before.
Oh,
So
yes.
sweet. That's cool.
I wish,
I bet he seems like he's just a really nice guy to talk to.
bro.
Like just
when
to
I tell
sit
you,
and have a conversation with him.
mm-hmm. When I tell you, you remember because me and Brad are on the same camp of like we really like as much as we love these actors, it's hard for us to find reasons to spend like over $100 to see these people.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love to spend money to meet Danny Trejo.
Is he one of them that you would actually pay the money to meet?
He's on my list. Although I would love to have met him like organically, like just run around the street, like
Right.
just run into him. Like obviously that'd be a bucket list of mine. But
Right.
I'm just saying, if next year Danny Trejo's and Scarefest, I will be there. I will be there, and I will pay the money.
Oh, she
Danny
said
felt
Danny felt I was nervous to meet
him.
him, and he kissed my hand.
See, he's such a sweet man.
That's so cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. What a guy. What a
That's
guy.
really cool. I will say, I like that they made him like the nice one. Like everybody else treated Michael like a freak in Smith's Grove. And at least he did treat him like a person. You know what I mean? Which is why it makes it so much worse when Michael just yokes him. Like,
Yeah.
like bro just throws him around the room for 5 minutes. Like, it's
Bro, you see that whole scene with like Danny and that scene of him getting roughed around like a ragdoll. But then you see all these old pictures of Danny. He's got his fucking Rottweiler. Bro, the man's a fucking unit too. Like don't be
Yeah.
misconstrued, Tyler Mane is just big. But Danny's built too, But no, like Tyler Mane can make anybody look dwarfed, So
Dude, I gotta tell you though, I did not realize how big Derek Mears is, who played Jason in the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. Derek Mears is big, like almost Tyler Mane big. He's a tall dude. Yeah. Let me see if I can find a picture. Yeah, like they're here. Let me see if I can share this.
Is he taller than Tyler Maine though? Oh my god.
No, he's not taller than him, but
He's
he's.
about just as tall.
I mean, like you couldn't tell in the makeup unless they're like next to someone, but like they're they're pretty close.
Yeah. I'd say,
Tyler
yeah.
Maine is still slightly taller than him, but like, I mean, dang man.
I don't know where they find these tall glasses of water, man, but fuck.
I've heard he's really nice too. The Derek Mears is a really nice guy, dude. He looked good as Jason.
Is this the new generation Jason, right?
Yes, this is the remake. This is the remake, Jason.
Yeah. I was told that was a pretty good installment.
It was the best thing they did about that remake was having him as Baghead at the beginning. How they
Yeah.
paid homage to that. That was one of the best things they did about that remake was having him like as both, because I'm gonna be real, the Baghead Jason is almost equally as scary as like, actual hockey mask Jason.
Really?
Oh, I think so. The whole dude, the thing, well, you've never seen it. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about the first 20 minutes of Friday the 13th, the remake. I'm not going to tell you about it.
Okay.
Because
What's your number 5 then?
Because your mouth is going to be on the ground because you're not going to expect what
really?
happens. Yep. It's one of the best openings to a remake of all time. Anyways, my number 5.
I knew we were gonna get like very. That's so
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this is my number 5. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and the reason I have this sitting on the desk is because we just watched it last night. So I don't have that just sitting there. It's another one. Like I know. I mean, it came out in like '66 or something like that. Like it's way before I was born, but it's got that. There's something about the animation, like that classic animation, that just it feeds that childhood nostalgia, holiday sense. And what I like about the Charlie Brown stuff is it's like I can watch it's The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, then I can watch the Thanksgiving one, then I can watch the Christmas one. Like I feel like there's like I look forward to watching the next one in the Burr months for the next holiday. So it's a really good one. You blockhead. I want that on a shirt. You blockhead. I want
I'm
that.
sure it can be made.
But it's a good one, man. I mean, like, look at that. Like, look how classic that is. Like, does it get any more classic than that?
It's just the simplicity of Charlie Brown, which makes it such a great family classic. And kudos for them to make a Halloween Charlie Brown film. You know what I mean? So
Yep. And
it's
like,
easy for them to make
the music,
Christmas or
Vince
anything else
Guaraldi's
holidays.
great music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vince Guaraldi's music is another really big puller. I mean, it's just it's so cool. It's such a fun, it's a good watch. It's a nice one to just sit and chill and like become a kid again for a half hour. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is.
So, that's my number 5.
Well, since we're going into our childhood, I guess let me relate this back to good old Ghostface real quick. But my number 4.
Are you sure Scream is not on this list because you've referenced it like 5 times?
I know because it's funny because I didn't realize how much it's referenced, but it's the Scooby-Doo live action franchise. Matthew Lillard.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
Nice choice. Yeah.
So, bro, that
nice
is
choice.
Yeah, childhood favorite of mine. 2002, 2004, bro. We were fresh children in that time.
Dude, you know what's funny? I saw an interview with Matthew Lillard, and he was talking about playing Shaggy, and he was like, I don't know if I ever realized this as a kid, but like Did you ever consciously think about the fact that the reason why Shaggy is the way he is because him and Scooby are absolutely friggin' blazed all the time?
Oh yeah, no questions asked. Bro, that was part of the movie.
Like,
Like when they were
I
in
know,
the
but
van, they
it's
are
just
blazed.
funny because it's like, again, childhood ignorance. You don't think about it that way until you're
Hmm.
adult, and it clicks like why they're always hungry and why they're always like so like out of it, like all the, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just funny.
Well,
It's
here,
weird to think
I
about
think
it in
it's.
that
I don't
way,
think it was
but
necessarily like that. That theme wasn't pushed in like in the cartoons, but it was definitely pushed in
no,
the
but
live
it was
actions.
implied. It was
Yeah,
100% implied.
it was definitely like pushed in the live action though. I mean, look, you have Isla Fisher who played Mary Jane, who was like the love interest for Shaggy in the first one, and she was like, "My name's Mary Jane," and he was like, "That's my favorite name." I was like, "Bro,
Yeah,
say less." But let me be honest,
yeah,
dog. Like Matthew Lillard, I know he had Scream, but he is typecast as Shaggy too, along with
he is.
Linda Cardellini, Freddie Prinze Jr., which I mean, Freddie played Kanan and Rebels, if I'm not mistaken. He was,
Hmm.
yes, he was, and he's a very big Star Wars fan. Like he knows the fiction. And Sarah Michelle, like you have Alicia Silverstone too in this movie too. Like, and that's just the first one. Like,
Yeah,
let me tell you, I absolutely love the Scooby Doo live action. It's one of those films where like you would be kind of worried if a live action was gonna work or not,
yeah,
and you had like a CGI like
right.
animal in there, like, but it worked so well for like 2002, 2004. Like the special effects and the CGI, albeit
Hmm.
dated, but still works so well. Plot is pretty
Yeah,
good and music is phenomenal. Like everyone acts like they should from the cartoon,
I
and
was gonna
that's why
say
I
that
love the movie so much.
it doesn't hold up super well today. If you like, I read like it was on TV or something one time, and I watched it, and I was like, man, some of these effects and the costumes and stuff, I'm like, oh boy,
But I mean,
like
that's what you're
it
supposed
looks
to do. Like this
so
is
2000s.
yeah, but it's like it's supposed to be a like an adaptation. Like it's supposed to be coming straight from the cartoons. So,
Right.
and I appreciate the fact that they didn't try to play it out as something else. Like this was
Yeah. Yeah.
purely like a cartoon live action movie, and I
Right.
loved it for what it was. So yeah, 100%. The first one was great. The second one was just as good,
I like
and
Monsters Unleashed
I like it too. I
personally.
mean, let's
I
be
think
honest.
better than the first one.
I mean, let's be honest. You had Velma. You know, put on those leather spanks, and while she's squeaking all over the set, like, hey, young me did not know what I was feeling at that time, but he liked it. So that was definitely a good time. I was a Velma fan more than a Daphne fan. If you had to ask, I was a Velma fan. I'll be honest.
Young me did not know what I was feeling at the time, but he liked it. That's pretty good. That was
Hmm.
good.
So
Oh, I don't
I
even know
I
what my
gotta
number
say,
four is now. That was
yeah, number
uh
four. That was a childhood favorite of mine. So it
yeah,
deserved
that was pretty
that
good.
that list.
You said she slapped on those leather Spanx. Have you seen her lately? What's her name? The actress. Uh
Who, Velma?
yeah,
Yeah, Linda Carlini.
Linda Carlini.
Yeah, dude, she plays Hawkeye's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
wife.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she's
Yep.
Agent 36. She's the MCU timeline. Agent 30. Or, I forgot. Fuck. What was it? Agent something. It was Agent something. It's Agent something. Forgot.
Yeah. Let me let me
Let's see.
See,
Yeah.
here's
Agent
here's
19. There you
when
go.
here's where Miguel's body started to feel things that he had never felt before.
Nah, dog. You gotta put Velma, Scooby Doo, Monsters Unleashed.
There it is. There it is.
There you go.
There it
Yeah,
be.
there it was.
That's funny, man.
Young me was discovering myself very well at that age.
My number 4, I'm going to move on now. My number 4, ironically, coming in at number 4, 4 is the magic number here. 4 is the magic number. Is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Okay, now we're talking about Halloween movies.
1988. We are. This one I put above Halloween 2 because I think it arguably has the best Halloween fall autumn atmosphere of any of the Halloween films. I think 2018 has great atmosphere. Halloween 6, ironically, has really good Halloween atmosphere. Halloween 5 is really good. H2O not as much, just because it's set in California. But like the beginning is great when Marion dies and stuff. I mean that's all great. When Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets the ice pack gets the
Spoiler alert.
when he come on, it's been 30 years. When it's been 30 years, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets the ski to the face or whatever, bro, have you ever wondered how that kill even happened? Like, what were the events leading into the fact that teenage Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Don't matter.
ended up
Michael
with
straight
an
up murked a child with.
bro had an ice skate like here in his face, like straight up. I would love to know how that even, like, did he just walk around a corner and he just like shoved it? I don't know.
Bro,
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
All of that to say, Halloween 4 has some incredible atmosphere. It was the return of, because from 1981 on, Freddy and Jason ruled the genre, and Michael was kind of nowhere to be found until 88. And it was the film that brought Michael back. It was the film that brought Loomis back. It's got great atmosphere. It's got a great score.
Wait, Halloween 6?
4. Halloween 4.
4?
Yep.
I thought Loomis was dead around that time.
No, he didn't. Loomis didn't die until the end of 6. That's when the character died, but also Donald Pleasance died, like in real life.
Okay.
That was like 1995 or 6, somewhere in there. But yeah, Halloween 4. Halloween 4 is the gas station, where Loomis goes to the gas station and Michael drives the thing out.
It is. It is.
So,
okay.
but
You said Jason Gordon-Levitt's killing. I was like,
no, I was just talking the different Halloween atmosphere, because the beginning of H2O had some really great Halloween atmosphere, but then it cuts and we're in California for the rest of the time, and it doesn't. But yeah, and like again, it kind of goes back to the whole like we talked about earlier with Halloween 2. Halloween 4 works, I think, and you see more of the Halloween atmosphere because you get to see the entire town. Like you see the rednecks at the bar, you see them driving around, you see Halloween decorations, you see the school, you see the neighborhood, you see people trick-or-treating. Like, it feels very Halloween. It doesn't just feel like there's some Halloween decorations thrown out there. Like, no, it actually looks like it's Halloween time in that film. So Halloween 4
I agree with that.
Is my number 4, simply because it has got some of the best Halloween atmosphere of the entire franchise.
well, I'm glad. Well, my number 3, we've already talked about my number 3. It's Hocus Pocus, so we don't really need to discuss further more on that.
Fair.
So, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is one that I have come to absolutely love. It is not a horror film, but it is a comedy. It stars the wonderful Gene Wilder, and it is Young Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From 1976. I adore that movie. it is so dry and it is so slapstick, like stupid funny. Frankenstein, like there are so
Frankenstein.
many things about that movie that are great. Gene Wilder is great. The relationship between him and Igor is great. It's
Igor.
but they call him Igor. That's the funny
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Like because have you ever seen Young Frankenstein?
Mm-mm.
So like basically Gene Wilder plays like Victor Frankenstein's grandson
Mm-hmm.
and or great grandson, something like that. And he's a professor and whatever now, and he's called to Transylvania to the castle to like inherit his grandfather's estate or whatever. And he doesn't want to be like he's a doctor. He wants to build his career on his own merits. Like he doesn't want to be known as Victor Frankenstein's grandson. So he changed it from Frankenstein to Frankenstein on purpose. But then, of
Okay.
course, he ends up falling into the same monster trap, and then he says, "I'm a Frankenstein" and whatever. But it's the same thing. Like Igor goes by Igor, just because it's like it's supposed to be stupid, slapstick, funny. So,
No, I get
but
it.
there's
Okay.
so many things. Put the candle back. There's so many good moments about that film. That's
Yeah,
another one.
Gene
That'd be a
Wilder is honestly
great watch along.
he is such a legend. Gene Wilder was such a comic legend.
Yeah,
So all
dude,
respect to him.
we should do an Oktoberfest. I know this one's almost over, so like it's too late for this. But one year we should do an Oktoberfest where we just pick something new to watch every Tuesday and Saturday. We just watch. We just watch
Yeah,
stuff. That'd
yeah,
be dope.
that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think we could do that now if we wanted to.
We could. But there are only 4 days left in October, so really
Fucking run
three
it. No, I'm
counting.
kidding.
Three, yeah, we'll get in as many as we can. But yeah, Young Frankenstein is it's my number 3, so I love it.
Nice.
It's hysterical.
Well, what was that? That was your 3. So here's my 2, and I am still on my childhood era because the movie I'm talking about is a Disney classic, especially for Halloween. What do you think? What do you
Halloween
think, Brad?
Town?
Yes,
Really?
100% Halloween Town.
Really? I
Halloween
wouldn't have
Town
taken you as a
franchise.
Halloween Town guy.
I was such a Halloween Town
Wow.
fan, especially back when.
I get
I
that,
enjoyed
though.
it.
I get
It
that.
was one of those movies where it's just like, how can I say this? At least like way back when, like when I was a kid, um, you either watched Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney. And when I tell you on Halloween night, on Halloween, the month of October, Halloween Town is one of those movies that's just always going to be on, and I was more than happy to watch 1, 2, and even 3 with the actor change. I never particularly had a problem with the actor change. I don't know, some people did, but I, for one, enjoyed it. I love the atmosphere of it. I love the idea of a whole town just for Halloween. Like I feel like that'd
Yeah.
be Brad's like oasis, but it was definitely one of those films where it really was focused on the essence of Halloween and what it means for for what it means
Ba-dee-da-dee-da,
for the fuck, what's the name of the family? What is the
It's
name of the
been
family?
dude. It's been
The
ages
Pipers?
since I
Yes,
saw
it's the
that. I don't even
Piper.
remember.
Because it was Marnie, Dylan, uh, Aggie, Sophie, and Gwen. Yes, okay, I'm with it. So you had all those people of the they were all like a huge lineage of wizards and witches, of just witches, if I'm not mistaken. It's just witches.
Mm.
So, and there's like this other like evil wizard, forgot what his name was, but it was just a back and forth between the two, and special effects was pretty good. You want to talk about like scary? I think it was Halloween 2, The Revenge of Caliban. I think is what it was. Let me see. Is it The Revenge? Oh, whatever. The Revenge. See, Calabar's Revenge. That's what I'm thinking of. Where like
Mm.
he tried to like make everybody's mask on Halloween night
whatever mask that people were wearing on Halloween night, they were going to turn into that person. So if you
Yeah,
dressed up
yeah,
as a demon, you're going to become a demon. If you're going to dress as a witch, you're going to be a witch. If you're a zombie kind of thing. Bro, when they transitioned from mask to like the actual demons, bro, that shit was kind of freaky. Like look up those costumes. Like they were really good. And the special effects was pretty nice. And overall, I mean, that's just one of those movies where I enjoyed as a kid, and still to this
yeah.
day, if I'm lucky, I wouldn't mind catching any one of those installments in and during my evening nights. So yeah,
Yeah.
props to
It's
Halloween Town, but it's a good one.
it's a good pick. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it'd be one to check out again. Um, Especially since I'm gonna have a kid that'll be that age in a couple years. That'd be a good one to check out.
It would.
Um, my number 2 pick pulls out the power of the old classic I could use a drink, Tom Adkins. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That film oozes Halloween atmosphere. It oozes Halloween atmosphere. It looks super Halloween. It feels super Halloween. There was just a loud bang in my house. I hope everything's fine. The atmosphere and the fact that it's about Halloween masks and it feels kind of weird, and the soundtrack. I mean, there's so many different cool things about it. It's the masks. It's the production value of it. It's it feels super cheesy and super 80s in certain moments. The score is very synth. The score is a great thing. Like even I've at Halloween season before, I've just listened to the score, like Chariots of Pumpkins and stuff, on repeat in the car, just because it gets you into that Halloween spooky mood. But Halloween 3 is great, and it's a film that took me a long time to build up to and to kind of warm up to. But I'm super glad that I've come around to it in the last few years, because it's a really good one. And I think, again, I've said this before, I think there is so much potential for Halloween 3 to be revisited somehow, whether it be in a TV series or in a film or in a fan film, something. I think a fan film might be kind of hard production wise, but like, I feel like there's a lot of potential with Halloween 3. Seriously, you know?
No, I agree. Season of the Witch is definitely one of those installments that I enjoyed very much when we were doing the franchise run of Halloween. So I would say that whenever I first saw Season of the Witch, I immediately said, Brad prefaced it. He said, this is probably one of the most black sheep of the franchise.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I just said, I mean, I responded with why. Like, this is a really great Halloween movie. Like, I gotta say, like,
Yeah.
it's pretty much what I would expect John Carpenter to, what he wanted for the franchise, not the Halloween
Yeah.
icon that we have now, which is not a bad thing, Michael Myers.
Don't lie,
Like of
you
just
hate
having
him.
like an anthology, huh?
I said, don't lie, you hate that character.
I know, right? I fucking hate him. Fuck that guy. FTG. But
Stupid white mask.
stupid white man.
I said white
But
mask. Thanks for making
oh,
me
my bad.
racist.
Whoops. But nonetheless, um, I would agree with Season of the Witch being a really top favorite for me as well.
It's
It's
great.
not on my list because I didn't really watch it as much whenever I was young, so I
Right.
can't really put that on my list right now. So, but it's definitely one of those movies that I thoroughly enjoyed since I've watched. So yeah, good choice,
And
man.
it's kind of funny because Season of the Witch isn't one that I ever really watched a whole lot when I was a kid. Like it's been within the last 4 or 5 years that I've really warmed up to it. And I again, I think it's like a Halloween nostalgia kind of thing. It's got the 80s synthy meta vibe to it. You know what I mean? Not meta, but like I don't even know what the right word is right now, but it feels very Halloween. It feels very 80s and synthy and retro, and it's cool. It's a fun
Hmm.
one.
No, I agree.
So
So good pick. Are we at our
Uh,
number one? Is it? Is
Yep.
it number one? Is it number one?
This
Is
is
it number
number
one?
one.
Is it number one?
Rose,
Is it number
yeah.
one?
Rosalia said H3 has still not grown on me, but I agree, Brad. It's very much a Halloween vibe. Yeah, it's got hardcore
But keep,
Halloween
you know,
vibes
give
to it.
give it another shot because it's definitely one of those. It's not a Michael Myers Halloween movie by any means, not in the slightest.
Literally, it's not.
Yeah, it
Ah,
literally is
I
not.
keep yawning.
But
Literally,
you
it's
do
not.
have, I think you have Nick Castle in the movie, so that's cool, right?
Nick Castle is not in Halloween 3.
Who am I thinking of then?
For who?
For Halloween 3, one of the henchmen was
Dick Warlock was one
Dick
of the henchmen
Warlock. There you go.
who played Michael in H2. Yeah,
There you
Dick
go.
Warlock was
Yeah.
a henchman.
So you do have a Michael Myers in that film,
do.
but but again, it is not a Michael Myers film, and I think I love it because of that. So give it a shot.
Yeah,
Remind yourself, if not, just call it Season of the Witch. Don't call it Halloween 3.
yeah.
Just call it Season of the Witch, and you'll love it.
I
That's what
still
I
think I think if it was just called Season of the Witch, it would have been a cult classic, 100%. I really do.
I agree.
And it is. I mean, it's reached cult classic like status today, but I still think it would have been more popular if it would have just been called Season of the Witch or something else. So let's do this. Do you want to say 3, 2, 1, and then we both say our number one?
Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go. Number one in 3.
3, 2, 1. Evil Dead.
How? Oh. My number one is Halloween because it's a Halloween show. Okay, why'd you pick Evil Dead? What's your?
Because it doesn't fucking. Oh god.
What?
I thought you were talking about. I think you started talking about yours, and I was like, because I'm not fucking surprised that you chose Halloween, Dick. I'm like,
no. Why'd you pick
original.
Evil Dead?
Because I'm not
Be
original.
more original.
Because Evil Dead.
Because I'm not original.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Dead's been on my number one for like a lot of Halloween.
Because Sam Raimi is dope, duh.
Because Sam Raimi is a fucking legend. John Carpenter, eat your heart out. No, I'm kidding. I won't say that. But yeah, because Sam Raimi's fucking
people are gonna fight you, dude.
dope. Like, give me a break.
Yeah. Evil
Okay,
Dead is a good choice. I that's not a bad choice for a number one, 100%.
It's
I just
really not.
again, when it comes to Halloween films, I feel icky picking something that's not Halloween because it's literally Halloween. Like I don't know. It's the quintessential
Bro,
Halloween.
last time I
movie for
checked,
me.
Land of 1,000 Corpses had nothing to do with Halloween.
House of 1,000 Corpses?
Did it?
What? What are you talking
Did
about?
House of 1,000 Corpses did it have anything to do with like Halloween? But it's in people's Halloween essentials.
What does that have to do with the fact that Halloween is the quintessential Halloween movie?
Well, I thought you were saying like you're choosing Halloween because it's the most Halloween movie, but then you have people over here that like because it has Halloween in there. You know what I mean? But then you have other movies that have nothing to do with Halloween, but it's like in their Halloween favorite. That's the list that you try to make me.
What's going on?
That's the list
right
you
now?
told me to like pick. So I was like, okay, so I'm
Are
gonna
you
pick
trying
that.
to do some Jedi mind trick? Right? Like so this movie is Halloween, but it's not Halloween, which makes this movie even more Halloween, even though it's really not. Like, what are you trying to say right now? I'm confused.
I'm trying to discombobulate you because it's fucking 10 o'clock.
Anyways, yes, Halloween is my number one. The story, the vibe. Again, I think it goes to show you how good of a story Halloween is when legit, like we talked about earlier, like if you pay close attention, it is not Halloween at all. Like it is straight up summertime looking, it's Pasadena, sunny California. I think it goes to show you how well of a story John Carpenter crafted and how well the performances and the execution made you think as an audience member that it was Halloween in that film. And it looks Halloween, it feels Halloween, the score is incredible. It's Halloween, So, but apparently that's a cop-out answer to some people.
It's not that much of a cop out. I'm just fucking with you.
I know.
Well, I mean,
I mean, here, look. If I gotta say anything more about Evil Dead, Evil Dead is just one of those movies where, as someone that was scared of horror movies, this was like the very first franchise that I actually felt like I enjoy what I'm looking at. I enjoy this movie for what it is. Bruce Campbell really knows how to sell his part. He knows how
He
to
does.
his personality just oozes brilliance onto the last, the first three uh films in this franchise. And again, Sam Raimi, his gorgeous cinematography, the way he was able to personify a first person point of view of
Yeah.
the demons of the
Mhm.
Book of the Damned or the Book of the Dead, and the special effects that was such a cornerstone for
That
their
movie
time.
does have some killer special effects in it.
Yes,
It really does.
100%. And I have to say, like, Evil Dead has been one of those movies where, one of those franchises where I don't think there really has been like a film that is hated by anyone, like even to the most recent one. Like, there's still some love for that movie because it really
Right.
catches the essence of Evil Dead. And even the which am I thinking of? The 2013 remake
The
Evil
remake,
Dead?
yeah.
Like, yeah, like even
The
that
Fede
one.
Alvarez
Yeah, even
one.
that one has some love from the
Oh,
fan
that
base.
movie's great. That's a great
Yeah,
remake.
it's a pretty spot on remake. It's not spot on, but it's a pretty good remake. So I gotta say, like, when it comes down to, and it's fucked for me to say, because, like, I mean, I kind of like this. I like the franchise, all things considered, my background. But I like the film. Like, I like the
Um,
franchise, and I really want to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead. I know the franchise was canceled, or the TV show was canceled, but I'd really like to see what was happening on Ash versus
yeah.
the Evil Dead,
Yeah,
because
I've
I feel
heard
like that
really
would have been
great things
fun.
about it, but I've
Yeah,
never seen it myself. So, but
but
that
there you
is
go.
our that there you go. That's our top 10 list, our top 10 essential watches for the Halloween season. If you would please send us your social security. No, I'm kidding. If you would please leave us a comment down below. Let us know your top 10 Halloween films. What are the top 10 things that you have to watch every single Halloween season in order to feel spooky? That's what I meant. Rosie said, I just saw an 80s Sam Raimi movie called Intruder. Have you seen it?
I have
I
not.
have not, but I have heard of it. I've heard good things. I've never actually watched it though. I think I can actually even picture the 19.
I've not seen this. Jesus Christ, this looks awesome. Yeah, this looks dope.
Yep, I could picture the poster. I'm thinking of the poster with the guy with the
With the cleaver.
he's just cozy about the story I'm looking at. Yeah, I can picture that, but I've never actually watched it. So that's definitely a that'll be one to watch. Had some good gory kills. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, Sam Raimi knows how to go hardcore without making it trashy. It's like the classy version of what Rob Zombie tries to do. And again, I don't mean that as a dig at Rob Zombie before everybody comes at me and it's like, you hate Rob Zombie, you hate Rob Zombie. Tell me, like, stop. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a more tamed version of what Rob Zombie is trying to do in his films. Would you agree with that? Could you see
I would
that?
agree.
Not
Yes.
exactly, but still kind of similar. But anyways, that is our top 10. We are going to get out of here. We are about 2 hours and 4 minutes in. If you have not left this one a like, please be sure to do so. And again, leave us a comment down below. We want to hear your 10 and we want to hear your thoughts. We are almost done with Oktoberfest. Can you believe that?
Can you dig it?
Weird. Like, I remember just putting this out and being like, it begins on September 29th. It's happening. And now it's almost over. It's almost time to kiss it goodbye. It's
Goodbye.
closing
Farewell.
time. Yeah,
Wow,
we're
we
saying
both went different
goodbye
songs.
to we did. We're going goodbye to we're going goodbye. I don't know what I'm saying. It's like I'm talking to my dog. But we're going goodbye to Oktoberfest for the 2023 season. But as always, It's always horror. Or, it's always horror. I need to go to bed. Apparently, it's always Halloween where we are, especially literally in this room. There are literally always Halloween things out in front of you. So, listen, Tuesday night, our next live stream on Tuesday night, we are watching Halloween Ends. We're going to sit and watch Halloween Ends. We've done watch-alongs for the original Halloween. We've done Halloween 2018. We've done Halloween Kills, and it is only fitting that I have these three fingers up right now because the other two were blown off in the movie. No, I'm kidding. But it's only fitting, I think, that we finish hard and strong and fast with Halloween Ends on Halloween. I think that'll be a fun way to celebrate. Get some snacks, get some drinks. It'll be a good time. And we get to watch the incredible performance that is Corey Cunningham. Get to watch that together and break it down. It's going to be a blast in the pants. So without further ado, guys, you are incredible. Thank you for joining us on the 117th episode of Let's Talk Movies. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at LTM Podcast KY. We drop new content every single week at either 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern, or whenever we feel like it, just because that's how we've been rolling lately. And you guys are the best. I hope you have an incredible rest of your weekend. Happy Halloween. If you are doing any kind of Halloween festivities at all, please hop on Spotify, type in Purely and Simply Evil, the playlist, a musical celebration of the horror. Just type in Purely and Simply Evil, and it should pop up, and check out that playlist because that is a really, really fun playlist. And it's been a lot of fun to listen to and to kind of see people share and talk about over the last few months. So it's been a blast. Rosie said, get your chalky milk. Get your chalky milk ready Tuesday. We're watching Halloween Ends. So we will see you guys soon. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. And we love you. We will talk to you.
Very soon.
I just said we will talk to y'all.
Talk to y'all.
Talk to y'all. You talk too much. New Blink song. You talk too much. You talk too much. Shut up. You talk. Bye.